All right, here we are again with our Forest River Sunseeker 3170 DS 2014 model. We're going to go through how to fire up the generator. We don't have shore power. We want to use the generator for powering up the furnace and keeping the batteries charged, things like that. So first thing we want to do before you even go and start trying to start the generator is make sure that the chickens are not in the way and that the exhaust pipe is not clogged and it is clear. There's nothing set up around it, chairs or puppy dogs, leashes, whatever it might be. So over on the driver's side of the unit, here's our exhaust pipe for our generator. The generator itself is locked in that unit there. No need to even open that up, but make sure you've got plenty of room around here. You don't want, that's going to be hot exhaust just like coming out of your car once the generator gets up and running, right? So now we're going to go back inside here and prime and start the generator. So on our control panel up on top here, something else you might want to do is have the windows closed on the driver's side there if you're going to be running the generator. That exhaust is coming out there. Should blow it away, but if you've got a breeze that's blowing it back for some reason, you're going to want to make sure those windows are closed so you don't get that exhaust in here. So our generator, our control is right up here at the top. You can see we've got a generator. The hours are going to show up here, how many it's been running. Here's our little error codes in case it doesn't start. This little light here is going to be important to us. We're going to start with the stop/prime, right? So by holding that down, you're going to want to hold that down even though the light came on right away, but you're going to want to hold that down for 30 to 45 seconds, maybe even a minute. What you're doing here is actually using the fuel pump to push fuel to the generator. Otherwise, it's not going to start, right? It needs that fuel. All right. That's close enough for right now. Now we're going to hold the start button up and you're going to hear it turn over and start up. There we go. Now we're running and you can see our hours are counting up here. A very, very important thing to remember here is that generator is running off the same fuel tank as the vehicle. If you run the generator out of fuel, you are out of fuel for the vehicle as well. So be aware of how much fuel you have in the vehicle before you start using the generator. Keep an eye on the fuel gauge if you're running the generator a lot. Most campgrounds, if you're running a generator, they have limited hours, so it gives you that kind of time to figure that out. Questions I've had is before is what if I accidentally hit this and I'm hooked up to shore power and I'm plugged into the outlet and something happens and I start that up? It should be okay. Avoid that. Try not to do that, but there is an auto switch, an inverter switch that will, by default, if you start the generator up and you're plugged into shore power, it will default to using the generator, right? So, but you don't want to test that theory out, right? You should be okay, but let's not plan on that. If you are going to run the generator, make sure you are not plugged into shore power. Vice versa, right? If you're got the generator running and suddenly the shore power comes back up, if you were running because maybe the electrical outlet you were plugging into was down for some reason, shut the generator down first, then plug into shore power. How do I shut the generator down? You're probably asking at this point. Very simple, right? Right up here, use the same stop prime button. If you hold down to stop, hold it down until you hear that generator actually stop running. There you go. And that's it. That's operating the generator. We're not going to cover maintenance and all that here. It's just how to start the generator up and use the generator.